What's wrong with this picture? A young black couple sits at a fine dining restaurant, handing their menus back to the waiter with polite smiles. But instead of taking their order, the waiter leans in, sneers, and loudly mocks them in front of everyone. What happens next will shock the entire restaurant and leave the waiter without a job before the night is over. Stick around, because this story isn't just about food. It's about respect, judgment, and the powerful lesson that the person you mock today may hold your future in their hands tomorrow. By the end, you'll understand why arrogance always comes with a price, and why treating people with dignity is the most valuable thing you can do. Meet Adams and Alana Carter, a hardworking young couple in their early 30s. Not billionaires, not celebrities, just two ordinary people who believed in working hard, saving carefully, and enjoying life's little victories. That night, they weren't just dining out. They were celebrating. Adams had just closed the biggest deal of his career, and Alana had landed a major project for her design business. So they booked a table at La Belle Maison, the most prestigious restaurant in town. But the moment they walked in, someone decided they didn't belong. And within the hour, that someone would regret it more than he could possibly imagine. The waiter's name was Sebastian Hale. Late 20s, crisp white uniform, an expensive watch he bragged about to anyone who would listen. He wasn't just serving tables, he acted like he owned them. From the very beginning, Sebastian made his feelings clear. When Alana asked about the wine list, Sebastian rolled his eyes. That's expensive. When Adams asked about the chef's special, Sebastian scoffed. You sure you don't want the regular menu? The prices might surprise you. At first, Adams and Alana ignored it. They didn't want to ruin their night. But when they finally placed their order, Sebastian repeated it mockingly for the whole restaurant to hear. The chef's special? With the best wine? Are you sure you can afford that? Maybe I should bring you something cheaper. Something more in your budget. The room froze. Diners stared. Whispers spread. Alana's hands shook under the table. Adam clenched his jaw. Still, Adam stayed calm. He looked Sebastian in the eye and said firmly, "Yes, we'll have exactly what we ordered." Sebastian sneered, collected the menus, and muttered under his breath, "Your funeral." But the real funeral that night was Sebastian's job. A few minutes later, Sebastian returned. Not with wine, not with bread, but with 2 glasses of water and a kid's menu. He set it down and smirked. "Thought this might be more your style." The entire restaurant gasped. A woman at the next table whispered, "Oh my God!" Alana's eyes filled with tears. Adam stood, voice steady but sharp. "That's enough." And then, a commanding voice thundered across the restaurant. From the corner, a man in a tailored suit rose from his table. Gray hair, stern eyes, authority in every step. It was Mr. Donovan, the restaurant's owner. And unknown to Sebastian, Adams Carter wasn't just a customer. He was the financial advisor who had helped Donovan's restaurant chain secure a multi-million-dollar expansion loan just 1 month earlier. In other words, Adams was the reason this restaurant existed. The owner's voice shook the room. "Sebastian," he said, eyes locked on the waiter. "What exactly do you think you're doing?" Sebastian stammered. Sir, I was just mocking paying customers, handing them a children's menu, humiliating them in front of the entire restaurant." The room went silent. All eyes were on Sebastian. He swallowed hard. I didn't mean." But Donovan silenced him with a hand. He turned to Adams and Alana. "Mr. Carter, Mrs. Carter, I cannot begin to apologize enough. Tonight's meal, every course, every glass of wine, will be in the house." The diners gasped again. Sebastian's face was drained of color. You know them?" Donovan's voice thundered. "Not only do I know them, your job exists because of this man. Adams Carter is the reason we're expanding. The reason you even have a restaurant to work in." And with that, Donovan delivered the final blow. "Get your things. You're fired. Right now." Sebastian's arrogance collapsed in front of the very people he tried to humiliate. The once smug waiter stormed out, humiliated. Meanwhile, Adams and Alana were treated like royalty. The chef personally served their meals. The sommelier poured their finest wine. And every diner in that room looked at them with newfound respect. But Adams didn't smile out of triumph. He wasn't interested in revenge. He held Alana's hand and whispered softly, "We didn't need him fired. We just needed our dignity." Donovan, overhearing, put a hand on Adams's shoulder. Sometimes people need to learn their lesson the hard way. And that night, as they drove home, Alana rested her head against Adams's shoulder. "I'm proud of us," she whispered. "We didn't let him take away our joy. So what's the lesson here? Respect is not about money. Respect is not about status. Respect is something every human being deserves." Sebastian didn't lose his job because Adams demanded it. He lost it because cruelty and arrogance always cost more in the end. So the next time you're tempted to judge someone by their appearance or assume where they belong, remember this story. Because the person you mock today may be the very person holding your future tomorrow. If you found this story powerful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, true class isn't about where you dine, but how you treat others. Until next time.